Today is Makar Sankranti, and so I am making two Sankranti special sweets which I am going to share with you. The first recipe is sesame seeds and peanut barfi. To make this sweet, take a pan, add 1 cup of sesame seeds. Here I am taking white sesame seeds, but any kind will work. Roast at medium heat for 5 minutes or until the sesame seeds become shiny and fluffy. Make sure to dry roast the sesame seeds just enough to release the essence of the seeds without a hint of bitterness. For doing this, a little time and attention is required to nurture along the flavor of the sesame seeds, but it is worth the effort. Once done, transfer into a plate or bowl. Then take 1 cup of raw peanuts. Roast for about 6 to 8 minutes or until they become lightly dark and crisp. Next, take 1 cup of grated jaggery or a log of jaggery, which is about 200 grams. Add 1/4 cup of water in a pot on medium and add jaggery to it. While the jaggery is melting, rub the peanuts in your hands to blanch them. You don't completely remove the brown coat. All you need is to take off the loose ones, which can be easily separated by rubbing between the palms and then blow air to fly them off. Next, coarsely grind the roasted sesame seeds and peanuts, both at room temperature. Add a teaspoon of ground cardamom to the jaggery, which is now in syrup form, and let it cool until it starts showing lots of bubbles and is boiling. While the syrup is cooking, grease a plate with ghee or a non-fragrant oil and keep aside. When the syrup becomes thick, just check if the jaggery is thick enough by taking very little in a spoon and pouring it back into the pot. If you see a thin but firm wire is forming in between the droplet and the spoon, it means the jaggery is ready. Now it's time to add the ground mix of roasted sesame seeds and peanuts to the jaggery. After adding the mix to jaggery syrup, mix it well. Now in a greased plate, pour the mix, flatten it, and leave it to rest for at least an hour before cutting them into pieces. I have this barfi mold, so I'm using it to set my barfi, but you can use a plate as well. And this is how it turns out. Next, I am making two kinds of bars, one only with sesame seeds and the other only with peanuts. We call this chikki at home. To make chikki, take a cup of sesame seeds in a plate and set it on air fry for 5 minutes at 200 Fahrenheit. Then do the same for peanuts. Once they are done, put them aside. If you don't have an air fryer, you can roast the sesame seeds and peanuts just like we did before for last recipe. Then put 1 cup of jaggery in a pot and let it melt on medium by adding 1/4 cup of water. While the jaggery is melting, we will grease 2 pieces of parchment paper, one for sesame seeds chikki and the other for peanut chikki to set. Now take the roasted peanuts into the mortar pestle, crush roughly and air out the loose coat of the peanuts. Once done, keep it aside. Once the jaggery is sticky enough to form a thin but firm wire in between the spoon and the droplet, pour half of it in the bowl in which we have our sorted peanuts. Mix well and pour the mix on the parchment paper. Then with the help of spoon, try to flatten and even it. Next, add the roasted sesame seeds into the jaggery syrup and mix well. Now pour the mix on the other parchment paper and let this chikki set for at least 20 minutes. And then break them or cut them into pieces and enjoy. In Sankranti, we eat sweets made with sesame seeds and peanuts and jaggery and fly kites all day long under direct sunlight. And the whole point of being outside and enjoy flying kites is to get as much sun as we can. It is believed that the quality of the sunlight during this time of the year is good for our body. So here I am going for a walk. Luckily, we got some sun this week in Seattle. When we get sun in winter, we really get excited. I hope you liked this video. I will see you in my next video. Take care. Namaste.